Raphael Tuju has gone all out, taking the war to the doorstep of Chief Justice Martha Koome. Tuju cited personal concerns ranging from the conduct of the Supreme Court bench to matters of national security. In the 4-page letter to the Chief Justice, Tuju says in part that the Supreme Court judges are behaving as if they are infallible, discussing matters in public that are before the High Court and JSC. What should mere mortals like me do when they do this? End quote. While noting to the CJ that the actions of her bench undermine judicial integrity, the letter tore into the court's handling of the 2022 presidential petition, arguing that its dismissal used inappropriate language that inflamed an already divided nation. He specifically took issue with the court's reference to the petition against the election as hot air and a wild goose chase.
I've written to the Chief Justice. I expect a response. And if I don't get a response, we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Tuju protested and told the CJ that the apex court, the Supreme Court of Kenya judges, must bear the responsibility of carrying out their duties with wisdom, sensitivity, uphold the rule of law, ensure fair trial, and protect the Constitution.
How can we have people at that level being able to abuse their positions in that way? What kind of country are we bequeathing the next generation?
According to the letter, the Chief Justice is overseeing a near-dysfunctional judicial system, with the top judges misusing the lower courts to trade impunity. The letter notes that, quote, when Supreme Court judges attempt to stop proceedings at the JSC, then it can only mean that they want a license of impunity. They should respect the laws of the land and constitutional bodies like JSC.
These Supreme Court judges have gone to High Court judges. These are people they supervise. These are people they transfer. These are people they can punish. How can they actually go to them to decide whether to hear this case or not? And they don't want to be at the JSC where their peers are. The Supreme Court, the judiciary is represented in the JSC. And guess who is the chairperson? It is the Chief Justice.
The letter cited the handling of the Tuju current estate, a protracted legal combat that landed at the Supreme Court. Tuju notes that none of my current lands are grabbed public land. Neither is any of them both from proceeds of crime or money stolen from public coffers. It is these lands now that various vultures are circulating over, trying to grab them at any cost. End quote.
I complained to them that they cannot make a ruling that I should be executed, and in case they are wrong at the end of my case, then I can be compensated. If that can be done to me, I've held senior positions in this country. What about the hapless people?
He says the judges have since rescued themselves from the Dairyland matter. In a lecture at the University of Embu, Supreme Court Judge Isaac Lenaula defended Kenya's highest court from a perceived mob justice campaign on the Supreme Court judges, illustrated by a myriad of petitions.
We are therefore lucky in Kenya that we have institutions of the Constitution that are holding our democracy together. And one of those institutions, I submit to you, is the Supreme Court of Kenya. And therefore, forget what people are saying about the Supreme Court without evidence.
In direct response to a petition to remove Supreme Court judges, Lenaula strongly defended the judiciary, warning that such efforts will weaken Kenya's democracy. Stephen Leto, Citizen TV.